ch14.com podcasts and audiobook reading. We're going to jump into chapter 14 of The Mental Files by Nurse Anne, which is a 6 stories edition. And this is an interconnected story series, and you're going to enjoy that. We're going to check into The Mental Files, chapter 14, which is titled Girls' Night Out. And if you want to catch up on this series, this story, you can go back to the first podcast, or you can just get the complete season, the complete series on Amazon, and I left it in one book to make it easier for you. It's The Mental Files, First 6 Stories Edition by Nurse Anne. That's me, but you might also want to check out the podcast because after each chapter, I break it apart as it relates to our own real life and inner thought drama and strongholds and struggles. We get some biblical prescriptions. We jump into the files of nurseanne.com for inspirational wellness, and there's just a lot of fun and a lot of information that's going to help us navigate this journey. So I'm going to jump right, like I said, into chapter 14 is Girls' Night Out, and then we're going to also jump into my other published devotional, which is Word Puzzles Devotional, which is interesting words, also linked to real life struggles and then paired with biblical prescriptions to get some wisdom and inspiration. So we'll go ahead and jump into chapter 14, Girls' Night Out. Get ready for some fun and games on The Mental Files. As Kylina and Angela looked over their menus, they wondered where Lita was. She was never late. Angela told Kylina about the progress of the goals group she had started for the patients. Wow, you mean you actually started a group? I'm so proud of you, complimented Kylina. What do your coworkers think? Sadie said it seemed to be helping, replied the psych nurse. Others seem relieved that I'm babysitting the patients. It frees them to catch up on their emails and texts. As the nurses laughed and talked, the late caseworker came rushing up to the table. Sorry, you two. Offered Lita, who was slightly out of breath. What? Spit it out, urged Angela. Oh, pardon my manners. Kylina, this is Lita. Oh, wait. Aren't you that nice nurse from the other night at the ER when I brought in a girl from the street? Asked Lita after the formal introduction. Oh yeah, that girl Julie. Yes, I do remember you, replied Kylina. Nice to officially meet you. Angela told me the progress Julie has been making at the hospital. She is definitely in good hands, offered the caseworker. And I must say I notice your caring spirit also, Kylina replied as she offered the genuine compliment to Lita. Thanks, Kylina, but sometimes I wonder if I make a difference, responded the caseworker. You better believe you do. Keep it up, Lita, chimed in Nurse Angela. Who is that handsome officer with you? Asked the ER nurse. Unable to hide her blushing face, Lita giggled. Oh, that's Leon. What's going on, Lita? I've never seen you like this. Is he why you're late? Asked the curious friend. Well, yes, we actually had our second date tonight, said the blushing single. Wow, really? I want to hear all about this guy, chimed in the two nurses at the same time. After the girls ordered their meal, Lita filled her company in on all the details about the handsome officer. Hearing about the bars and drinks, the nurses wondered silently if Lita was going down the wrong road with this guy. Hey, you should invite him to church, encouraged Angela. Well, I tried, replied Lita, but I think he prefers a different scene. But he's got a good heart. When he helps me find my missing patients, I can tell he's a good man. Okay, Lita, hopefully we can meet him soon, but please take your time and pray about it, replied her friend. Thanks, Ange, responded Lita. I'll try not to rush anything. But I've been alone for so long, and he is so interesting. After their dinner and catch-up talks, the three ladies drove to the Wednesday night service. What a treat they were in for. The church was hosting the annual comedy and karaoke night. Even though some of the jokes at the comedy show seemed a little lame, the ambiance of fellowship more than made up. And the worship leader picked some great songs to start the evening. The girls felt their spirits soar as they sang along. During the interactive karaoke time, Lita felt a twinge of wishing for motherhood as she saw the cute 5-year-old twins Noah and Nellie doing their cute rendition of the classic song, Yes, Jesus Loves Me. But the real showstopper was Mrs. Pinckney. The 85-year-old faithful member held nothing back. It was the funniest thing the girls had ever seen. Mrs. Pinckney had picked a song by Madonna, complete with the best dance moves in the church. You should go up, Lita, encouraged Angela. Come on, I'll go with you, added Kylina. Me? No way, said the introvert caseworker. Oh, come on, let's try it, pleaded the ER nurse. Oh, wow, I don't know. Well, okay. I guess it won't hurt to try, answered the caseworker who was used to sitting at home on her evenings off. Yes, exclaimed Kylina as the two women made their way to the stage. Singing along to a gospel rap song by the artist Lecrae, Lita thought this was the most fun she had enjoyed in a long time. Angela was also enjoying herself as she clapped and laughed at her friend's newfound talent. That is, until the girls finished and insisted that it was now her turn. Reluctantly agreeing, Angela went to the stage and sang along to her favorite Toby Mac song. The crowd went wild, especially when the 85-year-old woman joined her on stage. Lita thought again, this is the most fun I've had in years, as she secretly wished Leon was with her enjoying this different kind of fun. Lita's heart and conscience stirred as the preacher wrapped up the evening with an encouraging talk about waiting on God's timing, especially with new relationships. As the trio drove home singing along to the radio, their motivation to bring joy to others was increased exponentially. And that's the end of chapter 14, the girls' night out, and then the next time we'll jump into chapter 15. Right now, we're going to break this apart as it relates to real life and also get into the word puzzles, devotionals, some biblical prescriptions, and just more inspirational wellness for our life. So, that fun chapter, their fun and games, the girls' night out. First off, Leah had stopped off to meet Leon at the sports bar as he had asked for his different kind of fun, where she's feeling a lot of pressure to kind of join in his activities, and he doesn't really want to join her. But she did have a lot of fun tonight with her new friends in this new kind of setting, and just some good, clean fun, something that she hasn't been out in a while on a date or even out with friends. So it just leads me to think about, in general, kind of good, clean fun versus sometimes of different places and situations and scenarios where we might have a lot of peer pressure to do things to kind of go past the limits that might not be the best choices, that might take us down a road that we're not prepared for, that might lead to consequences that we're not really needing in our life. So it's just something to think about, to ponder, to plan in your life. What kind of friends you're hanging out with, what kind of places do they go to, what kind of activities are you getting involved in, and then just contemplate maybe another crowd where at first you might not be attracted to that or think it's going to be lame or whatever, but in the long run it could bless your life and you could have a lot less misery and regrets. And on that note, we're going to jump into the Word Puzzles devotional, which is my published devotional, and we're going to spin the wheel to see what we land on, which word is going to be related to this subject. All right, we're going to land on a word in just 1 second. What is it? All right, the word is from the letter G, and the word is gad. And what it means is to wander about idly or in pursuit of pleasure. And so this devotional today says, looking in the rearview mirror, it seems in our younger years, this might be an accurate description of our lifestyle. Hopefully we will mature and progress to more stable endeavors, higher goals. You may have heard this many times and think it is just some kind of empty cliche, but there is definitely a plan for your life. God translates this to us through the words of Jeremiah 29:11. He informs us that he knows the plans for us. They are plans for a hope and a future, prosperity and not harm. So continue your dreams and pursuits. Set your gaze on a higher calling. As you mature in your thinking and learning, may your life be a blessing to those around you. So that was today's Word Puzzles devotional for this story, related to this story. And that, like I said, it's a devotional that I publish. It has interesting words, basically A to Z format, and then the words are related to real life and also inner thought struggles. And then we look at different biblical prescriptions, get our dose of wisdom and inspiration. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting and insightful. So I hope you check that devotional out. And it's also here on this audiobook podcast. But as I said, we have a lot of choices to how we're going to spend our free time, who we're going to hang out with. And God is definitely not a fun stealer. Sometimes we think, this activity isn't going to be fun, or I'm going to look lame. And it's not that you can't go certain places and hang out with certain people. That's not the point. It's just thinking about the big picture of your life and the choices that you're making and what they're going to lead to, and just developing wisdom, insight, and maturity in your life. So I hope you enjoyed that Word Puzzles devotional after the audiobook reading of the fictional drama series, The Mental Files by Nurse Ann. I'm a nurse of 29 years and still going on the front lines of emergency and mental health. And I like to be an advocate and also promote empathy, awareness, advocacy. And there's adventure and action in that series that highlights different struggles that people go through. There is autism awareness, dementia awareness, thought struggles and strongholds, thought disorders, memory disorders, relationship drama. There is bullying awareness, and just anxiety and depression battles, relapse and recovery, and how the frontline workers and the medical staff and the church come alongside and try to rescue these people in crisis, these crises of mental, physical, and spiritual. And you can check that out on my website, nurseann.com, which is a ministry to inspire, advocate, encourage, and create. Just some inspirational wellness for mind, body, and spirit. And on the front page of my website, there's a link to the complete season of The Mental Files, which also includes the season finale, Out of Control. And there's also a link to the devotional, Word Puzzles devotional, and the devotional called Energize Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit. So those are some devotionals and a Christian fiction and frontline workers fiction and drama that promotes empathy, awareness, adventure, and action. So check out that drama, check out the life-changing and thought-provoking devotionals. And on the next podcast, we're going to jump into the next chapter of The Mental Files by Nurse Ann. Dun, dun, dun. And I hope you have a great week, and you will stay blessed and encouraged, and that you will overflow that encouragement to others. There's so many people that need someone to listen to them, someone to encourage them. Everybody's going through so much, so have a blessed day.